Assalamualaikum. In the past 3 years, I've started 3 different side hustles and they all failed except one, which actually allowed me to escape my 9 to 5 in less than 3 months. And in this video, I'm going to show you everything you need, what the side hustle is, how you can start, and the exact blueprint for you to follow, inshallah. And I promise it's not drop shipping or SMMA. It's something that's actually halal. And I will give you everything you need by the end of this video to make your first $1,000 by the end of this week, inshallah. So, Bismillah, let's get started right now. You see, what we first need to understand is what makes a side hustle actually good. You see, when I started my dropshipping, when I started my agency, I was blindly following these gurus who were basically just trying to sell me a course. But what I needed to actually understand were the fundamentals. So, what makes a side hustle good? Number one, we need to understand that it needs to be something that is beginner friendly. Low startup costs, it's simple for you to run, right? You don't need to know all these skills, all this different knowledge. You can get started right away with it. And the thing is, when I started my dropshipping, I thought, okay, I'm just going to be like building a website and that's it, right? But I actually had to learn to talk to some random Asian guy, find a product, run ads, all these different things. But we want to find a side hustle that doesn't require so much of that stuff. Secondly, we need something that aligns with our existing skills and interests. That basically gives us an advantage already. And I know you might be saying, oh, I don't have skills, but I'm sure you have interests, right? There are some things you're interested in, and it will be very, very powerful for us to actually leverage that. And one, it will make our side hustle actually fun. So we do want to work on it after our uni studies, after our 9 to 5, whatever, right? But it will also give us a competitive advantage, which brings me to a third point. There is so much competition when you are starting a side hustle, so you need something that you can stand out with. And the one I'm about to teach you, the side hustle that exactly I have done to succeed, will help you do exactly that. It will give you a competitive advantage, inshallah. Number 4, it needs to have a high profit margin. Bro, all these people that make 100K with dropshipping, who knows how much they make? Their profit margins are doo-doo, bro. They're actually so crap. And they can't really scale them dropshipping stores or even their agencies, right? All these agency guys, they leave their agencies to come do the side hustle I'm about to teach you because agencies are just terrible to scale. They're just a pain, right? Number 5, we need something that's AI proof. We don't want to just get replaced by Dr. GPT 2 months from now. We need something that's actually sustainable in the long run, right? 5 years, 10 years, something we can work with AI, but we can keep going and keep like making our bread, inshallah. A bonus thing, I should have mentioned this already before. This is bonus number 1. It needs to be halal, of course. But number 2, it needs to take less of your time. When you are starting a side hustle, you're already working a 9 to 5, you're working this, you're working that, right? You don't have that much time. So we ideally want something that takes like 2 hours, 4 hours of our day, maybe even less, so we can still have a life, so we can still do all of our other responsibilities. So what should we even start then? That's what you might be asking, right? And it's actually, alhamdulillah, very, very simple. It's actually something called a halal coaching business, which let me explain to you exactly how it works. So a coaching business, a halal coaching business, is basically a service-based business where you work very, very closely with people to help them achieve their goals, overcome their struggles, their challenges, all that good stuff, right? So for example, think about your Quran teacher, the personal trainer at the gym, but this can be so much more, right? And there's a lot of potential with this. I'm going to teach you. Your Quran teacher was probably a bit broke, but like there's a lot of ways to make a lot of money, which inshallah we're going to talk about. Let's actually talk about why coaching is the best and why you should start that ASAP, right? Number 1, it's super beginner friendly, right? There's literally no startup costs. Like you can pay for like some software, but the startup costs are super low. You don't need like any like prior knowledge or anything like that or any skills. Like basically all you need to do is be yourself, have lived your life, and you can basically help people from there. We'll talk about that, of course. Number 2, it already aligns with the existing skills and interests. It's you're coaching people and stuff you've done in your own life, things you've learned, etc., right? Your own skills, your own interests. And because of that, because you are the only person that is you, you have a competitive advantage. I cannot be a better you than you. And that's the beautiful part. That is the competitive advantage. Number 4, high profitability. Like, bro, alhamdulillah, my profit margins are super high. They're like 90% almost. And it's super easy to scale. You can go from one-to-one coaching, so like one-on-one calls, or you could go to, build a program. You could go group coaching. There's so much scale to this. And number 5, it's AI proof. People would always want that one-on-one connection with someone else, right? We always want to have that like social aspect to our lives, and that's going to grow so much more in the future as we get more like into technology, right? As we get more away from people, we're gonna want that one-to-one people type of thing, right? And the bonus, it takes so much less of your time compared to everything else. With agency, you have to do so much outreach. With dropshipping, you gotta find products. People spend hours and hours before they make their first dollar, before they even like get any form of success. But for this, you can literally do this in a week to get started, but it also like takes less of your time to run and scale in the long term. It can just be in the background. It takes a couple of hours a week, and you can be making a very good amount of money from it, inshallah. So now let's actually go straight into the blueprint. So the basics is you need to one, decide on who you are going to help. Number two is what you're going to help them with. And number three is how you're going to help them with. So let's start with number one over here. You need to find your who, the exact type of person you're going to help. And the best thing to do is really think about yourself. What skills, what interests do you have? And what problems you've solved for yourself. And you basically go out and solve these problems for others. So the perfect example kind of is, think of yourself like maybe you've learned to lose 5 kilos of fat, right? You can basically go teach someone else how to lose 5 kilos of fat, right? So I want to make one thing very, very clear. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be up here, some like bodybuilder, like Mr. Olympia, right? You can literally be just one level above someone, and you can help the people right below you, and you can help them a lot, inshallah. So that's basically what we're going to be doing. That's how you can find who you're going to help. Think about yourself, think about the problems you've solved. And then that really also goes straight into number two, what you're going to help them with. The problems you've solved for yourself, that's the problems you can help someone else solve. Maybe you're a brown man whose mom always makes so much biryani and you got fat, but you somehow learned how to lose 2 kilos of fat. You can also go find another brown man, that's who, and who's also wants to like lose fat, whose mom makes so much biryani. You can go help that exact type of person with the problem you've solved for yourself. And number three is, how do we help them? This is kind of going to be like our offer for our coaching business. It's basically what you're going to give them, right? Maybe it's a 3-month program, and you want to really focus on the result you can give them, right? So it's helping the brown man lose that 2 kilos of fat. You want to focus on that and give them everything they need for that to be possible. We want to always over deliver to our clients, get them insane results. So make sure you are giving them as much as they need for them to actually get results and all of that good stuff. So let's just go on a little bit of the coaching blueprint extended and how you can move forward. After you've figured out who, what you're going to help them and how you're going to help them, this is what you need to move on to. Number one, we need to attract the who, right? The first person we decided, and we're like, okay, we're going to help brown man whose mom always makes so much biryani and he wants to lose fat. We want to attract him. How do we get to him, right? How do we actually tell him about our services? How do we pitch him? How do we actually get money from him, right? So we can help him, inshallah. So number one, there's kind of like 4 different ways you can help people. You can reach out to people you know. So like people in your contact list, people that follow you from high school, whatever, on Instagram. You can reach out to people you don't know, random strangers on the internet. Number 3, you can post free content. And number 4 is run paid ads. You probably don't have like the capital to run paid ads, so that's out of the picture. Warm outreach, it's a little bit awkward, right? You imagine you just randomly reaching out to people who are like from high school, some random brown guy whose mom always makes biryani, and you went to maths class with him. It's a bit awkward to go reach out to him like, bro, do you want to give me money? But same with cold outreach. Cold outreach is not very leveraged at all, and it's actually very, very hard to just randomly message someone. Like imagine someone randomly was like, oh bro, do you want to lose like 2 kilos of fat? And he was in your Instagram request, right? It just seems a lot more scammy. It just seems a lot weird, right? So the best thing is for you to actually post free content. It's for you to like start creating content online, build a personal brand, and really help people with that. You don't necessarily have to show your face, but it's a bit better if you do. And I know this is where so many people fail. This is where so many people just lose out on this, right? They're super hyped up on like, okay, I can do this, I can help people with this. But they get scared right here. And I want to ask you, do you want to genuinely like bring a change in your own life? Because I promise you, if you do this, this will genuinely help you so much in your life, in your business, in your finances, in every area of life, right? This could literally get you financial freedom. So I want to ask you, are you really just going to be scared of putting yourself out there? Or are you actually going to take the risk, even though it's not a risk, man up and go do the work, go do the actions and change your life forever, inshallah. So that's number 1. We need to figure out how we're going to attract the person. And number 2 is basically getting paid, right? So we need to figure out how to get this person from like our personal brand, from the content we're creating, whether that's on Instagram, on YouTube, whatever it is, and how we're going to actually get them into converting customers. So you can either like set up like a sales page online, so like a little website link. You can get on calls with them, you can DM them, message them, whatever it is. You basically want to get the right person, the who has that problem that we're going to be solving for them, and you want to show them your offer, right? So the brown man whose mom always makes biryani and he wants to lose 2 kilos of fat, we basically need to earn his trust. We need to give him value through our free content and basically get to him to the point where we can make an offer to him, show him how we can help him. And of course, like there he's going to decide, okay, like this is going to be super, super valuable. And depending on how much value you are giving out through your coaching, that's how you can price it, right? And I would recommend pricing it more, $500, $1,000, $2,000. I even know people that have coaching prices for $5,000, right? So it's super, super easy for you to price it at a high range. And you only need like, imagine you have like a product for 2K and you only need to sell 5 of them per month and you're at 10K a month. It's actually super, super possible, right? So inshallah, that's what we're going to be focusing on. And number 3 is just giving them value, right? After they've bought, after they've given you the 1K, the 2K, which honestly isn't even a lot, right? You might be thinking, oh, 1K is a lot, 2K is a lot. It's because you're probably broke, bro. If you actually have a good mindset around money, an abundant mindset, you'll be like, okay, that's not even a lot of money. So I give someone 2K and they give me help me get such a good physique. That's awesome. I'll make that trade, right? And there are people who will make that trade. Not everyone, but there's 1% of the people in this world who will make that trade. And those are the people we're going for anyways, inshallah. So when we've gotten that money, when we've actually signed them on as a client, we basically just want to help them, right? So you can either build training programs, you can go on one-on-one calls, you can give them WhatsApp access, whatever they need for them to actually get the results, inshallah, because obviously we're still going to get them results. But the beautiful thing is it can only take like an hour a week for a client, and inshallah you're doing super, super well. They're paying you like 2K a month, 1K a month, and you're living basically like the side hustle dream. I hope this video was valuable for you. If you want to know exactly how I made 5K in 9 days, go watch the video on your screen, and inshallah I will see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.